So in the question 7, we need to show that the random telegraph signal is a static stationary process. So what we wish to show is that the probability that ytn equals to yn, ytn minus 1 equals to yn minus 1, and yt1 equals to y1 equals to the probability that ytn plus c equals to yn time ytn minus 1 plus c equals to yn minus 1, and yt1 plus c equals to y1 for any n t1, t2, tn, and c. So in this question, we can suppose that for y1 from yn, the value of this term is 1. So the probability ytn equals 1 based on ytn minus 1 equals 1, ytn minus 2 equals 1, and yt1 equals 1 equals to the probability that ytn equals 1 based on ytn minus 1 equals 1, which equals to the e power of negative lambda times tn minus 1 times cosine h times lambda times tn minus 1. So now we can get the probability that ytn equals 1 based on ytn minus 1 equals 1, ytn minus 2 equals 1, and yt1 equals 1. And then we need to calculate the probability that ytn equals 1 and ytn minus 1 equals 1, ytn minus 2 equals 1, and yt1 equals 1. So which equals to the probability that ytn equals 1 based on ytn minus 1 equals 1 and yt1 equals 1 times the probability that ytn minus 1 equals 1 based on ytn minus 2 equals 1 times yt1 equals 1, and then times the probability that yt2 equals 1 based on yt1 equals 1, and finally times the probability that yt1 equals 1. So which use the Bayes rules. So after that, we can simplify it and got the probability that the probability ytn equals 1 based on ytn minus 1 equals 1 times the probability ytn minus 1 equals 1 based on ytn minus equals 1, and then times the probability that yt2 times 1 based on yt1 times 1, and finally times the probability that yt1 times 1. So since we got this term, the result of this term, the probability equals to the e power of negative lambda tn minus 1 cosine h times lambda times tn minus 1. So we can take this term into this formula, and we can simplify it, which equals to the e power of negative lambda tn minus 1 cosine h times lambda times tn minus 1, and then times the e power of lambda negative lambda t2 minus t1 cosine h times lambda times t2 minus t1 times 0.5. And this probability depends on ti minus 1 when I equals to 2, 3, 2n. So after that, we can find that the probability that ytn equals to yn, ytn minus 1 equals to yn minus 1, and yt1 equals to t1 equals to the probability that ytn times ytn plus c equals to yn ytn minus 1 plus c equals to yn minus 1, and yt1 plus c equals to y1. So after that, we can see that the random telegraph signal is a static sense stationary process. So based on calculating the result of these two probability, and finally we find that the